So, you're trying to launch or grow a business here in Canada. And let's be real, funding is probably the biggest hurdle you're facing. But what if I told you there's a government program designed specifically to help you clear it? Well, today, we're going to dive deep and unlock the Canada Small Business Financing Program.
I mean, if you're an entrepreneur, this question, it probably hits really close to home, right? Finding capital is one of the toughest parts of the journey. You've got the vision, you've got the drive, but actually securing the funds can feel like you're trying to climb a mountain.
And honestly, the current economic climate isn't doing us any favors. You've got high interest rates, rising costs for just about everything, and that makes traditional lenders, like banks, a little hesitant. It creates this huge funding gap that a lot of small businesses fall into.
But look, the most important thing to remember here is that you are absolutely not in this by yourself. This is a super common challenge. And you know what? Because it's so common, there are solutions out there designed specifically to help you get through it.
And that right there brings us to the solution we're talking about today, a really powerful, government-backed program that was built to bridge that exact funding gap and get capital into the hands of entrepreneurs just like you.
So what is this thing? Well, to put it simply, the Canada Small Business Financing Program, or CSBFP for short, isn't a direct loan from the government. Instead, think of the government as a partner that goes to the bank with you. They act as a kind of cosigner, which makes your business look a whole lot more attractive to the lender.
And here it is. This is the secret sauce of the whole program, that 85% number. The government basically tells the bank, hey, if this doesn't work out, we'll cover up to 85% of your losses. That massively reduces the risk for the bank, and it gives them the confidence they need to say yes a heck of a lot more often.
Okay, so that's the how it works part. But what does that actually mean for your business? How much money can you get, and what can you even use it for? Let's break down the specifics.
All right, let's talk numbers, because the headline number here is huge. A single business can get access to a total of up to $1.15 million in financing through this program. Just think about that for a second. That is a serious amount of capital that could completely transform your business.
Now, this funding isn't just one giant check. It's actually split into two different tools for two different jobs. On one side, you have the term loan, that's up to $1 million for those big ticket items like buying a building or investing in major equipment. And on the other side, you've got a line of credit, up to $150,000 for your day-to-day operations like managing cash flow or buying inventory.
So who can get in on this? Well, the great news is the eligibility is really broad. We're talking about for-profit businesses in Canada with annual revenues under $10 million. And it doesn't matter if you're a brand new startup or a company that's been around for a while. The net is cast super wide, covering almost every single industry out there.
And wow, when you look at who's actually using this program, the reach is just massive. The accommodation and food services sector leads the pack, making up almost half of all the loans. That shows you just how vital this is for restaurants, cafes, and hotels. But you also see retail, personal services, professional services, all getting a big piece of the pie. It's incredibly versatile.
And it's not just about industries, it's about geography too. The funding really does spread right across the country, but Ontario is the clear leader, pulling in about 45% of the total. That just makes sense given its population and business density. But Quebec and the western provinces also see huge chunks, proving this program has a truly national impact.
But listen, this program isn't just sitting still, it's evolving. And that's why we need to talk about why right now, this very moment, represents such a unique window of opportunity for business owners.
This is so important because the CSBFP has evolved. Recent changes have really modernized the program, making it way more flexible and, frankly, more in tune with what today's businesses actually need, especially if you're in a service or digital industry.
This is the real game changer, right here. You can now use this financing for what they call intangible assets. We're talking software, developing your brand, getting trademarks. You can also fund working capital, invest in technology, and even cover marketing costs. For businesses that don't have a ton of physical stuff, this is huge. Now, to really get a sense of the momentum here, just look at the numbers. In the last fiscal year, this program helped businesses get $1.8 billion in loans. That's a massive, solid foundation.
But check this out. The projection for this year is over $2 billion. That jump from 1.8 to over 2 billion is a huge signal of growth, of increased government support, and just a ton of entrepreneurial activity. There's more funding on the table than ever before.
And it's not just us saying this. Analysts at MRZ Canada are pointing to the exact same thing. When you combine the new program updates
With these record funding levels, it's clear. Right now is the absolute best time to get your application ready and throw your hat in the ring.
Okay, so you're ready. The opportunity is real. What do you do next? Let's switch gears from the what and the why to the how. Here are the concrete steps you need to take to put together a winning application.
Think of this as getting your ducks in a row. You're going to start with a solid business plan and a clear financial forecast. Then you'll gather up your basic documents, your business registration, your CRA number. After that, you'll need things like lease agreements or quotes from suppliers for stuff you want to buy. And finally, your personal ID and ownership details. Each piece helps build a credible story for the lender.
I really can't stress this enough. Walking into a bank, totally organized, with a professional application package, it just makes a world of difference. It tells them you're serious, you've done your homework, and that you're a good bet. And hey, getting some professional guidance to make sure it's all perfect can be a really smart move too.
And so, that's where we'll leave it. You have a modernized program, you have record levels of funding available, and now you have a clear checklist for success. The door is wide open. The only question left is, what incredible business are you going to build with it?